you know, on YouTube and stuff, they put out garbage. And people still watch them.
Yeah.
You know, so I need to just try. Like Brother Polite, his videos, they're garbage. Okay, the content, that sounds bad, right? The content is fantastic. I love the stuff that I do. I like it. But if you're just looking at the scene, like the background, like he'd just be wherever. He'd be like, I'm in my car. And half the time he don't even be looking at the camera. The camera will be here and he'll be talking like this.
His wife be like,
like, you know what I'm saying? And he be tripping.
And he's like, wait, let me turn it back on. Let me turn it back on.
Right, hold on. Yeah, so anyways, hold on. But anyways, this is what, hold on. Like, and he'd be like, and then you see I'm talking, and then I got the camera over here, and you're like, why are you doing? And we still watch it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I was like, he inspired me in that way, because I'm like, well, you know, if he could do it, and he really doesn't have a good background, his camera is not super clear.
Yeah, you don't have to be, Angel, half the time, I don't know what Angel be thinking.
He don't even put his face on there.
Yeah, he'd be like, here's a cartoon picture of me.
Disrespectful. Disrespectful. Like, you know, everybody.
Because my hair is too nappy today. You will
right,
never see
stop.
how nappy it is.
Angel,
black,
like,
but you will never see how black I get.
Angel, we just want you to know that the main reason why everybody the secondary reason why everybody listens to you is because you're cute. So stop hiding your face. Stop hiding. Stop. No. I want to see the face.
Wake up some days and it'd be like 4C, and he'd be like, "You won't never know it."
But we're all black. If he is 4C, I want to see it. If he is 4C, I want to see it. I know he don't got no 4C.
I know he doesn't, but I'm just saying.
That nigga's way up there on the scale.
Terrible. Like, I cannot be.
Like, unless you got punched in the eye.
Or like, I'm not cleaning it up. I'm just not.
I still want to see it.
This video is getting done today.
I still want to see it. I know, right? Like, got cats hanging from the ceiling. I think we deserve to see it. I don't deserve to be staring at that black screen with the little circle in the middle. You just be looking at it like, I wish something would happen.
Good. Now I gotta find something to do.
Right? You'd be like,
otherwise,
maybe
like, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss
right.
the facial expression.
You'd be like, maybe I'll wash dishes. Maybe I'll vacuum. I should have talked because I'm over here looking crazy. I need a bead for this.
Yeah. You need one bead for that?
What am I supposed to do with it? I don't know what to do with it, Paris. My hair is literally doing the Harlem Shake. It's
doing a boycott. It's like, you trying to make me go down to the earth, and
I don't wanna.
We go up.
Look, if I put it behind my ear, it's like, hello.
Hello. You not sleep with it like that. If you sleep with it like that, it's gonna.
I just fell asleep. I don't even know what happened.
No. You need a dread. What is that thing? It's like long and it's tight and it's like a tube.
I'm never gonna have that consistency to do that.
Yeah, you need to buy like 4 of them and rotate.
I need one that comes from Harry Potter, and when I sit down and go to bed, it just goes. Then I can go to sleep.
No.
Yes, because I'm never gonna do that on my own.
Okay, do you think that would sell? No, I'm saying like if we painted a picture on the side of it and was like, here you go.
What do you mean painted a picture on the side of it?
I don't know, like a beautiful black woman on a tube sock. we just like printed it on there and was like, here you go.
I don't know what.
Would you like if it was prettier? If it was pink and had Beyonce on it with bling? Then would you wear it every night?
I don't know. They have them already. They have them like they're trying to get people to wear them, you know, like out and stuff to protect their hair. I don't know.
And then you need like hooks. You just need a little thing with hooks so you can just hook them up every night. After you're done, you have a place to hook them.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be nice.
If it's a plain black, it just fades into everything else you have.
You have to make something that looks like, I think, cute. Something that looks cute enough where you would like want to wear it. Like that one that they have, I don't know. I'm not into it. It doesn't look cute to me. Like I see the styles and they'd be like, look, you could do that. And I'm like, it doesn't look cute.
Which one?
It's on Instagram. I see it a lot. They just like slide it on their edges, and they be like, "It's protective."
Protective.
Yeah.
Why do they need so much protection?
Because they have no edges. That's why.
So you just have to leave it alone. People, the reason why they're losing hair is because they won't leave their hair alone.
The edges is not growing back.
Yeah, but it's
not.
like you never left it alone.
It's
So
not.
it left.
I don't really know why the edges are gone, because people will sit up here talking about they need a protective hairstyle, but slaves was living back in slave time, rubbing their head up on hay in the ground for their whole life, and always had edges. Had edges till they died.
That's what I'm like.
And you know what I've noticed? It's not just black people. I've actually noticed a fair amount of Hispanic people. 2 Hispanic people that I've seen have no edges, like this, bald, the whole thing, way up here. And then it's like mine too, where this still grows, so they just gel it over all the way. I've seen that. I've seen it twice here.
Their hair is very curly too, so they don't want to see it be nappy. So you pull it back in a really tight ponytail.
But that's what everybody
and then
says.
They dry it out with the gel.
I just don't think it's
And
ponytail related. I just don't think. Why doesn't it pull here? This gets just as much traction, if not more.
But that's going to be stronger than your temple.
Why is it stronger than here?
At African tribes, if you look at what's that tribe? Fulani. What is it?
Fulani.
If you look at their tribe, they do hairstyles that suit them. They do not do anything to suit European.
But they was pulling their hair. They was pulling it. Like one of the big styles I was doing with Jasmine, which you take like your hair and then you wrap it. You pull it really tight. It's like a stretching, and then you wrap it all the way down to the end. That's pulling it.
Yeah.
And they still have hair.
They had one of their particular styles. They have a ponytail to the front of their head. So it's
but that's still pulling here.
No, most of the tension is going to be right here.
But that's one of my favorite hairstyles.
Yeah.
It's still pulling it. I do it all the time.
Where you take a bun and you have the weight leaning towards the front of your head.
Most of my weight is to the front. I only know because when I put my hair in a ponytail and I be looking at it at the side from work, I be like, my hair looks like it's going like this.
I think your hair is going straight up. But it's not.
It's more to the front.
Like this. Sometimes it sits over.
Yeah, I don't have it that, because people would just not know what to do with me. I have a lot of hair.
Saying. And Africans don't care. They be like, to us, this is cute, and we understand why we do it because we lose our edges.
I don't think that's it. But okay. I have a lot of hair. When I put my hair up in these buns, people behind me can't even see stuff.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We're assimilating to the European standards because we want to make sure that they feel good. We don't make sure that we feel good.
But even though we say that we're assimilating in order to make them feel good, I don't really know that they actually feel good about our hairstyles. Like, even the perms, they don't like it. And they be like, your hair's so stiff, it's so weird. Every style that we do with our hair, they don't like it.
Yeah, because we're never going to be white. That's impossible.
So then I just feel like we should just be...
But you're never going to be... Yeah.
Even Jasmine's hair, they be like, it's so unique. It's so cool. And I be like, it's actually not cool.
Very
I just
average and regular and normal amongst the whole continent of all those millions of Africans. It's just an average sight.
Took it out the braids. Just took it out the braids.
Not cool. It's very regular. I don't know how to get that over. It's like going to China and being like, wow, your hair is so cool. It's so straight. Like, so straight and jet black.
It's so cool.
Like, no, it's just, that's what Asian hair is like.
Wow, your hair is so yellow. That's so cool. How did you make it do that? They would be like, what are you talking about? It's cool. It's really cool. I don't know. The only thing now I get offended with now is the 2 things is that they think this is braids. Like that guy, remember from that show we were watching? And it was clearly a white guy with cornrows, and they had it played, but his part played by a black man with dreadlocks. Yeah. Like they were supposed to be the same person. It wasn't even close.
But I feel like they can see it. But
the guy in real life was Hispanic with cornrows, and they had the person playing him as an African American brown skinned man with dreads.
I think that's the same as like when I had to figure out that brunette hair was not black hair, and I'm like, what are you talking? It's the same, and they're like, no, you see this slight shade of brown that makes it brunette, and I'm like, okay.
it seems like
your hair is.
It seems like if you're not Italian, it doesn't really like apply to you. I feel like outside of Italians, no other white people really have black hair. Maybe like gypsies. No, gypsies, Italians. No, what other group of white people have black? They have brunette. They can have a dark brunette.
Oh yeah, brunette.
But they don't really have black hair.
Have black hair?
I haven't seen Italians with black hair. Even like guys. Like I grew up with like Italian guys. Like think Pauly D. Like that. Their hair comes out.
It as brunette. I felt like just if you're white.
They might say that it's brunette, but the only reason why I say it's not brunette is because it doesn't take to bleach like brunette hair. Like brunette hair, you could put a little lemon on it and it'd be like blonde. You know, those Italians, you put a little lemon on it and it like spit back at you. You like have to put bleach on it and then rinse it out and then bleach it. Italian black hair, you need. I don't know if it'll get blonde without breaking.
Because when I'm experimenting with hair, there's like no Italians in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're there, but there's not.
And I only remember, I feel like just in South Windsor, there was a lot of Italians.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
In Connecticut, there's little Italies.
Yeah. You know. Yeah, like there was guys that talked like the Godfather.
Yeah.
You know, and those guys had black hair and they had olive skin, like naturally, like olive skin. Like it would be wintertime, no sun, and they were like olive with like black hair.
I met an Italian guy who was really dark. He was like your color, maybe a little lighter. But
in the summer?
I think that was his only color.
I met a Sicilian. He had blonde hair, and he was Sicilian, and in the summertime, he was darker than me. He tried to shame me. Tried to color shame me in school. He was like, "Who's the cracker now?" Because he was like way darker than me.
But it didn't look like a tan. It looked like he just that color every day. And then he had like this weird color eye.
Oh, and he was Italian?
Color. Yeah, it was. I went to an Italian like pizza shop, and they were like really Italian, not really speaking.
But they are, and that's why I'm saying that I think it's not black hair. I don't even think is like a Caucasian thing. You know what I mean? I think it's like an African thing that for some people who try to like breed out, it's still kind of like left over, like the gene that's hanging on real strong.
Yeah.
I've not really seen it. I feel like most mixed kids turn brown hair for some reason. You know, like if like that first generation, when they mix, they turn brown hair, but I still feel like that's a black genetics.
Yeah.
Because it only exists in certain places, and like the Mediterranean is right above Africa, so I feel like it doesn't really count. It's an African genotype that they're expressing. Most of it is phased out, but they still have tan skin and they still have black hair. Yeah. She definitely has brown hair. Like if we had to go buy a weave for her, we couldn't buy 1B.
No.
So she's got brunette hair.
Yeah. Which
is something I've seen with a lot of black kids, like Chloe, right? People don't like to talk about it, but you look at the Kardashians, and the Kardashians.
She's like, why do people diss her? Why do people trash her and be like, okay, you're OJ's daughter, but then she put on a curly weave like a black girl, and she was trying to look like a black girl, and they were like, oh, appropriation. And it's like,
because she's not saying that she's black. If she were to say like I am OJ's daughter, then people would accept her, but she's not.
People, so now he's a monster.
Right, so she don't gotta be his daughter. But the genes is that she is. Because that's what I'm saying about the hair. You look at the Kardashians and they have black, straight hair, right? O.J. Simpson. Mm-hmm. And then you mix the two and you get Chloe, who's always had brown, curly hair. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I've
never seen it.
Mm-hmm, like when they were kids, you have like Kim and she's like, right? And then you have the other one and her hair is like, and then you have Chloe and she's like...
Really?
Brown, curly, fuzzy hair. Not like Jasmine's, less curly, but... And I feel like you see that in a lot of kids that are mixed, their hair just turns a different color. I don't know why. But then not all of them.
Ayana and just get her piece with it. Just be like...
No, she tried. Didn't she? No, her mom did. I forget.
Her mom tried to get her to come to peace with it?
Yeah. Her mom on the show, she wrote the books. Like, she put it... It was like a secret. And then her mom wrote a book and put it in the book. Like, yes, I did sleep with OJ while I was with your father during the same time that I got pregnant with you. And so then Khloe, of course, was upset because she was like, you just put that out there. Like, I'm a Kardashian. You raised me as a Kardashian. This is not fair. And then she was just like, I just want to put these rumors to bed. Let's just get the DNA test. I just want to, I think her mom was just trying to reveal her truth, you know? And then Khloe was like, no. They did that on the show, girl. Can you imagine? That's so awful. Because, like,
she never wanted to know.
And her mom asked her, she was like, just get the DNA test so that we can know for once and for all. That's why I feel like everybody knows that she's OJ's kid. Because her own mother, that's the vagina she came out of. So if she's telling you, you might need to get this test, she knows more than you. You wasn't awake during that time. She could tell you who the daddy is.
She knows exactly.
I mean, not necessarily exactly, because if she's sleeping with two men, you don't know who's sperm is stronger, but chances are, looking at Mr. Kardashian and OJ Simpson, if they had to fight each other on the field, so OJ's sperm is probably stronger in there. Like, this is my baby.
You know what you're doing. You don't want to know. You just ignore it. But you know what you're doing.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying.
While you was doing it, you know what you.
She knew, but she admitted. She said it, but
yeah.
According to, because I saw this documentary a long time ago, it was so weird. And it was like these African peoples, and they would be married, but the women would be allowed to cheat. And then they would have children with the married husband, and then they were like, but the children belong to the husband. And so then the white people who were doing the documentary were like, how do you know that? And they were like, because we've been doing this, and that's what it is. So, of course, the white people didn't believe it. So they were like, we're going to do DNA tests.
Oh,
and
really?
No, they did it with their permission. They just didn't believe them, So they did the DNA test, and come to find out, it was always the husband's children. So then they tried to do a study to figure out why the black people knew what they were talking about. But I think what they were saying is that if a guy, now this could just be conjecture, but if a guy has most of his cum in there, and then you just insert a little bit of another man's cum, that his sperm will kill that other sperm. And because it's more of them, they can overcome it. So that's what they were saying.
Sperm can kill other sperm?
Yeah. Basically, because the sperm, they were saying the sperm sense objects is not like them. Like, they're not very smart. That's how they impregnate the cell, is that they just look for foreign objects and just start doing at it. Yeah. So they see the foreign sperm, the other man's sperm, and then they basically try to impregnate it. But when they do that, it kills it. And then the rest of the leftover sperm impregnate.
Who's having chick is not just going to pull out. It's not that type of situation. Maybe one guy's not pulling out.
I know. Maybe. Out. I don't know. Paris.
That would make
more sense. I agree with you. That's just killing other sperm. Because they've consistently found in that tribe that even though the women were sleeping with other men, that the babies always belonged to the husband that was having regular sex with the women, So you could say that one is going to pull out, and maybe they do pull out because it's an understanding in their tribe that you don't have a baby.
A native tribe.
I thought it was an African tribe. There's actually a few African tribes where the women are the power in the tribe. And they're the ones that have to say, and the men kind of just like go along with the flow, and then they leave them or they keep them. But the men are kind of like the secondary citizens.
I feel like I remember it being like Amazon.
It could be. It could be. I just remember them being brown. But I'm saying that's not the first. That wouldn't be the first tribe that I've heard of where the women are in charge. Like the women are the primary citizens and the men are the secondary citizens. That's what I was arguing with that guy on my channel. I haven't even responded because I don't want to see what he said. But that bishop guy, because I told him, because he was like,
some
God.
guy who calls himself bishop is talking to you?
He ain't nobody's bishop, girl. And he don't like black women.
Them those names. Why
he gave himself that name.
Why they ordain themselves? Like, you can't ordain yourself.
So, and then I don't know why. Why you ordain yourself when you don't like black women? Because that's what he does. He always posts on my interracial videos, and then he posts about how I'm wrong and black women are doing wrong. So his last post was that God never created black women to be in charge, and that's why nobody wants to be with y'all. And he was like, you obviously are taking the wrong...
sense.
Right, and he goes, and you obviously have been taking the wrong position in your relationships, and that's why you don't have any. And I was like...
Melania doesn't want to be with Trump, and he's in charge.
He's really in charge. But she's the female. He's saying that, you know, Trump likes Melania because she lets him be in charge, even though she embarrasses him in front of everybody on camera and be like, I'm not holding your damn hand. So I don't really agree with what he's saying. And I told him, I was like, what about Esther? What about Deborah? What about Tabitha? Tabitha, a lot of people don't talk about Tabitha, but Tabitha was such a prominent disciple that when she got sick, everybody called, I think it was Paul, to go and heal her because she was such a great disciple. And based off of the strength of what she'd been doing, Paul went over to see her to heal her. You see what I'm saying? Esther, yes, she was the queen and whatever. But when it came time, she told the king what to do. The king was uninformed. The king was getting ready to kill all the Jews. He probably would have came under a lot of disaster and judgment from God if he had did that, like Pharaoh, King Xerxes. The king allowed Esther. He didn't have to. If you think about the premise of the story, the king allowed Esther to come in and give him advice over his male advisors. Because his male advisors were giving him wrong advice. He took her advice and rewarded her, and then the whole kingdom was blessed because of it. You see what I'm saying? She saved her whole kingdom, and she advised the king, her husband. That is a prime example. Like, people don't even think about it. This is a story in the Bible that God put in the Bible where a woman advised a man, and he was blessed because he took her advice. It's so many. Think about it. Jesus, when Jesus was born, did the angels go to the husband? I mean, he did. He did go to the husband. But the husband actually had a lot of attitude, and they had to make it, oh no, that was John the Baptist's father. They did not go to Joseph. Now that I think about it, the angels did not go to Joseph, did not go to Mary's father. The angels went to Mary. She was a teenager. The angel went to Mary and said, you're going to have the God of the world, name him this is what's going to happen to you. No man was involved. The only man that ended up being involved later was John the Baptist's father. And the angel spoke to him in the temple. And then when, John the Baptist's father gave all that attitude, he was like, shut up, boy. Now you're not going to speak till the baby's born. But the women all received it. They all received the message from the angels. Okay, fast forward to when Jesus died and he's in the tomb. Who was the first person the angels revealed the truth to? The women at the tomb. And then what did he say? What did the angel say? Don't tell no men because you're a woman and you can't advise nobody and what the truth was. No, he said, go and tell the disciples what you've seen. And for the disciples that listened to the women, they were blessed. They were able to be recognized for the faith. And for the disciples that didn't, they were doubters. Women telling men what the truth was. And if they weren't able to accept it, they were whack. And if they were, then they were blessed. So I don't see what this stuff is that this guy is talking about.
But even in today's times, I just feel like women are the head of household. If the men are not going to be there, if the 60% of black men decided they don't want to be, the head of their household, then the women are the head of the households. And because they are the head of the households, they have to get these more paying jobs, higher paying jobs. So it's just like, what are you even talking about, bro?
I mean, I guess they don't want us to be the head of the household, but then you have to be the men.
And stay there and be there.
You have to be the men. And actually, somebody was showing a scripture, and I don't remember what it was or where it was, but it was saying, when there are no men, the women strive to be men. And I have to find where that was. Yeah. Because we have to protect the babies.
Yeah.
I understand the theory behind all men wanting to be in charge of their race, but the reality is there's a lot of babies and not a lot of men. And we have to do what we have to do to keep the babies. That's what we do. I know it seems like, when women want to boss them in and tell them what to do, but we have to keep the structure of the home. We have to keep the sanctity and the consistency of the home, the safety. And if you're out there being F-boys, gambling all the money away, sleeping with other girls and giving them all the money, like Wendy's husband. Wendy's trying to build an empire.
Again, she's the one with all the money. And I mean, I guess he built it with her, but
he assisted her. She had the talent.
He's an assistant.
He assisted her. She's trying to build an empire for them and their children.
Yeah.
Now her kids are in college. They're trying to get wives of their own. They're trying to do stuff. And this guy's over being a F-boy, having babies, buying Ferraris to show off. That does not keep the safety of your household. So Wendy now is like trying to usurp, the power of a man. No, she's just trying to correct the shit that he did. He just made a poop pile, and she's trying to clean it up.
And I think you're messy.
That's what a lot of men don't get. They're creating poop piles everywhere, and they think that we are trying to usurp the leadership. And really, I don't think any woman even cares about that. Yeah. If women really cared about being leadership, then why are there so many princess fairy tales in the world? Why would we all want to be... You go to Disney and every little girl wants to buy a princess dress with princess shoes and sit up there with the prince that saved her. If that's the truth, then why would men think that we really want to be in charge? We don't want to be in charge. We just are put in situations where we have to be. The princess fairy tale goes away. We can't be a princess anymore, and now we have to be Joan of Arc. And I feel like if that's what it comes to... We do it because we're women, and that's what we have to do. But every girl in their heart really wants to be the princess that gets saved by their prince. That's what every little girl wants. Disney knows it. I don't know why black men don't know it.
They ain't trying to be nobody.
They're trying to be the princess, just like the frog and the prince. What did he end up being? A princess.
Yeah, they trying to have that.
Because her fairy tale was that she was able to get a job. That was her fairy tale. Yeah. And she was able to take care of her jobless boyfriend. She wasn't trying to
know why they put... I guess because they wanted to make something more realistic. But it's like, why don't you make something that people can strive to do? Because if they're the younger generation, then they haven't created anything yet. Like, why can't you give them a better goal?
But why give them something to strive to when they're not going to have that?
Well, you shape the society by what you're showing them. They're feeding them all these images, and they're shaping it. So they're promoting it,
Matter of fact, now that I think about it, because I was trying to think of, like, a lot of these storylines where black women end up in a relationship, and I can't think of a lot where black women get saved. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in Scandal, black women are always the powerhouse. Like, Olivia Pope was the powerhouse. Like, the president was kind of the powerhouse, but he was just like a simp, and he was always crying, and he was always confused, and she always had to get him together. Princess and the Frog, she had to get that dude together. I feel like even in that Puerto Rican show that me and Jasmine was watching, where the main character was this dark-skinned Puerto Rican, and she was with a white guy. She ended up being a time-traveling witch. I think that was the premise of the show. It was weird. So, like, they were back in 1800s. Her and this white guy fell in love. The family got so upset because they could never see their son with this white guy. So they shot their son, and they wanted to burn her at the stake. And then she, like, did a spell and went to the future. And then she had to find some other person so she could go back in the past, save her white boyfriend, and be with him. Which is cool, but that's the way they always put us. So she's
the whole... What I'm saying. They put it like that. And
that's all we get.
They work to make it like that.
We have to hustle to get our little wife.
Yeah.
That's what we have. Like, Olivia, like, she had to be so super freaking successful, like almost the most powerful woman in the world in order for her to bag a little bit the president.
But they made it like that. Because I was sitting there watching that movie, and I did not think it was going to turn out like that. I thought it was going to turn out... Like was it Princess and Frog? I thought it was going to turn out like all the other fairy tales. And I'm like, this is just the one where the girl is black.
Well, she got with him. She did get with him, but he was a bum.
Like, it was just not the same story. But I guess they just wanted to change it. But why would you change the story, the narrative for the black girl and the Irish
Because
girl?
I think in a way it's the only narrative that fits us. It's the only narrative where everybody feels happy. I guess for some reason they feel like
writing it.
Everybody
they don't feel happy writing a story.
They really did feel happy writing it.
Black love and two people doing great.
Nope. Or where the black woman gets saved. Why can't we have the prince that comes and save us?
Yeah, but they didn't even have two equals.
They're always like doing
But
under. We always have to like pull them up.
Irish, like Brave, and then when
she didn't have a boyfriend.
That's what I'm saying. You notice they did the same thing to them, and then also when they had what's that Let It Go story?
Yeah,
the same thing.
She's not Irish. She was very European though.
Her sister.
Her sister. Yeah, I know. I don't know why she had red hair, but she was very European.
She had the red hair and she had the shorter stick. That's what I feel like.
She sure did. Now that I think about it, she got with that guy that didn't even like her.
Mm-hmm. Why? Why couldn't he like her?
Why couldn't she have blonde hair? That was her sister. She should have just had blonde hair like her sister. They had the same dad. Why did she have red hair? That's funny that you mentioned that.
Right, it's Disney.
Girl, that's so crazy.
They create the narratives.
I'm so sad that you... I didn't want to realize that. I know. And in Lion King, like, that lady, she didn't have to, like, work really hard for her boyfriend, but nobody could see what color she was. She was a lion. She technically had blonde hair. You know, Megan, that's why I bought that thing, because Megan is a real princess. Even though... Yeah. Still, for her story, she was a hard worker. She struggled. She worked her way to the top. He didn't just come and whisk her away. She was doing her own thing. She was fairly successful when he came and got with her.
Yeah. I don't know. Because when black people need Megan to be black, she's very black. When they need her to be white, she's very white. So I think it's kind of not fair when it comes to biracial women, because black people will be like,
I think the reality is just that.
You be today, that's
but we'll take. I think at this point we'll just take anything. Like I love Oprah, but Oprah can't have a relationship. Gayle King can't have a relationship. I don't know. I don't know why. She's a billionaire.
She likes Stedman. I don't know what their situation.
They're still together.
Yeah, but I don't know. She never wanted to get married. She just don't want people to have her money. She's just too scared. Doesn't trust anybody.
Maybe because then if things fall apart, like. If you really love somebody, you know, and you know that people use marriage as a way to rob you of your empire, then why do it? Yeah. Because she does have a sizable empire. Yeah. I'm sure she'll probably leave him some money anyways, but she probably wants to be free to leave him however much money she wants to leave him. Yeah. But, like, she never had no kids. She didn't even adopt kids. Because there's kids out there. There's girls that can't have kids. Like, yeah.
She said she didn't want to have kids because she was molested, and she doesn't want the pressure of feeling like she's gonna molest her kids. Even though obviously you're not, but she's feeling like, yeah, that's what she said.
Maybe she just doesn't want the pressure of thinking that she has to prevent another person from being molested.
She said she didn't want to feel like she was gonna do that to her kids.
I don't know what her situation is. But it's not just her, Gayle King, who's her husband. You know? I mean, at least Obama has Michelle, so that's a nice couple that we see. But even white people, they won't even let us have that. She's obviously a man because she can't